Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you are listening to this show, and welcome to Legends Rise, an Elder Scrolls Online podcast, where we educate players new and old about the game itself, whether it's how to run dungeons, discussing combat, chatting about crafting, posting information about PvP, gabbing about guilds, babbling about builds, and so much more. I am your host, Marcus Axford, and with me today is my co-host, the beautiful and lovely Queen of Cyrodiil herself, Lainy Kirkpatrick. How are you doing today, Lainy?
I'm doing great. Long day, but it's kind of nice to just relax and you know talk about our one of our favorite things in the world.
Absolutely. Are you feeling better? I know we had to skip last week because you weren't. It was your turn apparently to get sick.
Yeah, the beauties of being immunocompromised. I am feeling better. Obviously my springtime allergies are still hitting me, so I still have all the big allergies. But otherwise, yeah, fine, feeling much better.
Good, good. Yeah, I know I tripped up there in the beginning. I still have that burning feeling in the back of your throat. Again, I think I mentioned it before, where it feels like you've sucked in too much cold air, and it's just light enough where it kind of
Mhm.
tickles you a little bit, and you kind of cough. So I'm like trying to do the intro and trying not to think about it, but in doing so, I thought about it, and then I tripped up. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I cough a little bit in this episode, I do apologize. But what are we talking about this episode?
Oh gosh, this is probably one of the things that you're going to carry with you most, if not, no, actually all of your gameplay. How to earn gold. We're going to give you our tips, tricks, warn you about anything that is a little risky, and then kind of like we'll introduce you to Tamriel Trade Center as well, because that's also a good um, tool if you're trying to buy something and don't want to spend too much.
Yes, yes. But before we get into it, we want to remind you that Legends Rise is part of the Pop Culture FM network. And if you want to join the community, you can go to our Discord. And links for that are on our Twitter or Facebook at Legends Rise ESO, where you can find a section for ESO players, as well as some other cool stuff, including our group hug channel if you're having a bad time, because mental health, of course, is important to us. Also, don't forget to rate this show on Spotify at the top of the episode list. And I think we're on Apple now, so if you see us there, give us a review. Help us know we're doing a good job. We also have an Instagram where we post pics of our adventures. Not exactly, I haven't done that yet. Instagram is a little hard to figure out, I'm not going to lie.
You know, I have an Instagram. I never use it.
Well, if we never use it, ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised. I can be a little inept sometimes. But if you're curious about our zero content that's on there currently, you can find it at Legends Rise ESO as well. Finally, if you love listening to us here and want more, you can go to patreon.com/legendsriseeso, and for $5 a month, you can get this show ad-free. You can get a shout-out on the show. You can message in with your comments and questions and have access to other cool stuff like exclusive merch, early access to bonus episodes, and exclusive Discord roles to access game updates, weekly events, and more. We're always looking to add more content to make your dollar worth it. And speaking of which, I do have some updates for everybody. I've updated the network Discord server, so everything's a lot more cleaned up and streamlined. Uh, we have a Xbox North American guild for Legends Rise now. We actually have one of our other fellow content creators on there who does Tamrielic Adventure podcast. I believe that's the name of his show. One of these days I'll get better at introducing people. uh,
That'll
what
come in handy later when we start having guests.
Yes, yes, it will. Which, by the way, little bit of a spoiler teaser, whatever you want to call it. We will be having a guest for the PvP episode. We just talked with him, and I don't like the guy at all. But it's not my decision. This is a 50-50 partnership. So I guess if you want him on, sure. No,
I happen to remember you two basically flirting with each other about like
what?
podcasts and
No,
like
no, no,
web
no.
stuff and all that.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I really like Venus. I can't wait to have him on. Uh, I am also working on some exclusive Discord roles for Patreon and patrons and stuff like that. So that'll be where there's bots you can get for specific ESO bots you can get. I know if you're part of other Discords and you already have those bots, it may seem a little bit like, hey, why am I paying, for for Patreon just to get something I can get for free, and that is a good point, but it's included in there. It's not, hey, pay $5 so you can get something you normally get for free because it's us. I also want to throw in something else that would be fun if you are on Xbox NA and want to join the Legends Rise Guild. I kind of want to do an exclusive guild rank. So, again, it means nothing, but it's just something fun that you can show off to other guild members. And I did mention we're on Apple. I've been doing a lot of distribution stuff. So we're on Amazon Music, we're on Audible, we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on a lot of things right now. I think we're on Stitcher now. I don't know if we're on every possible available platform, but I'm working on it. As well as we are now on YouTube. So this is our kind of inaugural episode, I guess, for YouTube. So hi, everybody, or wherever my camera is. Hi. Well, because, spoiler alert, my Discord screen's up there, my camera's right there, and my main screen's in front of me, so I'm just doing this. So
You should have dragged Discord somewhere closer.
I know, I need to, put that TV right there next to, but that's where my Xbox, I've got this whole wonderful setup, I love it, but...
Oh, in case you guys haven't heard, he has an Xbox Series X.
The low times.
I mean, I'm a PC player, and, I've had some happen to me these last few events, so I am pretty jealous of those load times, and him even being able to get into the game.
There's that. I have never cared so much about, a game looking good, a game running good. I've always been just happy with, okay, it runs, I can play it, whatever, but... having a Series X is nice, so it's like...
He's a snob now.
I'm with my people where I belong, among the elite. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, I can't promise that all of our past episodes that we've already done they will go up on YouTube, but they're probably just gonna have a picture for the thumbnail you're watching, because obviously we haven't recorded any actual video up until this point, so there won't be any video for that, but they'll be up there, so I'll get those all backlogged before I put this episode up on YouTube, because I don't want to do it out of order. That'd be weird. So anyway, I think we're done with all that out of the way. Let's get into it. We're gonna make fun of some RPers.
It's so easy.
Well,
but to be clear, we're not making fun of the regular RPers. We're making fun of the ERPers.
Well, first off, gold used to be harder to obtain. A little bit of the history about gold. I wasn't there. I found out recently, actually, by looking at my achievements. I actually didn't start playing the game until almost 2 years later. I started December 2nd, 2015, according to my very first achievement. So, I wasn't there at ground level, but I do remember hearing that you only got 1 gold per kill. One enemy that dropped only earned you
really
1 gold.
Sad. So sad. I was there at beta in Xbox. It was horrible. And now, if you remember from our previous episode when we talked about the different races, Imperials get a 1% gold bonus. And as we said, if you want to run an Imperial for the gold bonus, do not. It makes almost zero difference.
You're better off, which we'll talk about, paying for ESO Plus and getting a 10% boost to gold. Where else was I going with that? Oh, right. My Xbox mug.
My God.
Hold on. The best part of waking up is Xbox on your cup.
Wow. I have so many words for this situation right now, but none of them are appropriate for our podcast.
No, they're not. We're trying to be a family-friendly show, even though I know we've said some things that aren't very family-friendly.
We've said some bad words. I'm sorry.
Okay, full disclosure, there are times where after the show I look to Lainy, I go, was that all right? Should I take that out? Is that... And she's like, nah, it's fine.
But because I'm like the same way, except less ashamed of using swear words than he is. Of course I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, it's fine.
We're a family
Put it in
picture.
there. I learned all my swear words from my dad.
So, so our peers have at it.
Oh, let's start in Riften.
Oh God.
There used to be like this scuba divers guild I was part of a long, long time ago. Ancient history. I'm totally done with the guild, but they had a trader in the Riften Outlaws Refuge, and that's exactly where you'd expect a guild like that to have a trader.
In the Rift and Outlaws Refuge, yes. Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know how it happened. I was just in Riften one time because on console I don't know about PC. I mean I've been on PC, but I'm pretty sure there's no area chat in PC still. I think it's just console. So
We have zone chats for every zone.
right, you have zone chat, but you don't actually have a area voice chat.
No, we don't have voice chat. We are civilized and use Discord.
Yeah, console does, and never go to Riften.
you
Never go to Riften. But
know,
I met some interesting people there.
that's kind of the nice thing, about not playing on Xbox anymore. I don't gotta listen to the voice channels.
I actually don't really notice them. By the way, I am on my game right now, and I'm going to Riften because now I'm curious.
Oh
But,
my gosh.
but I met up with a couple people, and it's like the one and only time I've RP'd in this game, and we were earning money, like we were earning cuts of gold for selling. Speaking of non-family friendly content, meth.
That's like the Riften RPers right there in a nutshell. It's
Is
not family
selling
friendly content.
is selling we it was called the Skooma Bandits, and we were selling meth. Now, to to explain upon this, there is an item in the game called methgalin. It's a what is it? For food?
I think it's a provisioning
Yeah,
ingredient.
provisioning. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. So it's a provisioning ingredient. But what's the first four letters of that item? Meth. So the guy thought it would be hilarious and drugged me into it
No pun intended.
to, to go around, like, we had people collecting this item. He would go into trade because it's a trash item. So he would go in and buy it at low prices and sell it for like 5 times more than it was worth just by saying, "Hey, we're selling meth." And I'm like, "What?" And it worked.
I know people are dumb.
Apparently,
Not everyone, but just people.
apparently, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, because I do not imagine a ZeniMax dev actually trying to find you in the game to talk to you. I'm pretty sure they would just send you an email to cease and desist what you're doing. But he claimed that there was a representative from ZOS that had a character in game that went to him and was like, "So I hear you're selling meth." And he's like, "Oh, no, no." Like, I think he was trying to be really smart about it. And he's like, "Yeah, here's some meth." And he traded meth. And the guy's like, "Oh, okay." I don't know how true that story is, but I digress. Riften. I'm sure we will cover Riften again at some point in the future. But
I mean, anyone who's played Skyrim, like, that's exactly the zone you would expect it all to go down in.
yeah, it's a sketchy part of Tamriel for sure. It has quite the reputation, but anyway, let's move on from from that. Give you guys a little bit of history of how hard gold used to be obtained. Give you a little couple of stories from our gold earning past. And yes, I got my cut. Oh, by the way, yes, same tank, same look as he is now, with the exception of, I think, the shield. And he's a big character because he's a Nord. He's a Nord maxed out at full all settings. So, compared to other characters, he's a
your
big
tank?
dude. Yeah. And
Oh.
I would stand because, actually, I'm standing next to it right now because we would hold up in the Shade Home Inn and make our deals there. So, and I would be like the bouncer type. I was there to intimidate because I wouldn't speak on mic or I would speak very low, and my character was just standing there, like really intimidating. And one of the members referred to me as the big guy. So it was a lot of fun, but we'll definitely talk about role playing a lot more in a junk drawer episode. Which, by
Oh
the way,
boy.
if you're wondering what a junk drawer episode is going to be, it's basically kind of where we're thinking of, oh man, should have said that on that episode, but rather than kind of bog down a episode by going, hey, last time on the episode we should have said this. No, we're just gonna put it down our notes, and then we'll do a junk drawer episode about all the little different things. And RPing is not gonna be its own episode because there's really not a whole lot to talk about with it. So
I mean, that's a really good thing because knowing us, we would turn the new episode into an entire new episode about the last episode.
well, I mean, look what we're doing now. We're supposed to be talking about gold, and we have done very little of that. I don't know how far in we are, but 16 minutes. Awesome. We're
Oh, we're doing great.
16,
We're
17.
pros.
All right, that's okay. So little bit we wanted to cover as well as, what do you might ask? What do I spend gold on? That might sound like a very basic question to ask, but when we get into our currency episode, you're going to understand why we want to cover this a little bit. Because obviously you don't spend gold on everything, and you do spend gold on specific things. So things like buying gear and items from merchants and players, paying your dues at trade guilds, training your horse, buying houses, spending them to buy crowns. And Lainey, I'm going to hand this over to you because this is a system I'm not wholly familiar with.
The crowns? Oh man.
I don't actually know how people, because
Okay,
you can buy
I do.
crowns. Okay, cool. There you go. Off to the races.
So, I will start off by saying there is a bit of risk involved. Now, I know the gold to crowns prices are much different on PC and console, and I know that PC EU is even higher than PC NA. It can get up to 3,000 per crown.
Oof.
So so you know how Xbox is 100 to 1? It can get to 3,000 to 1 on EU. And on PCNA, it's between 100 and 1,400, depending on who you buy from. Now, the Tamriel Crown Exchange, which I think I'm saying that right, they have a special Discord, and they have so many reputable sellers. Now, they do cost more, so you're going to find the reputable sellers at the high end because, they can provide proof and they have a reputable list of selling. Now, the way you buy crowns, it's not conventional. And the reason why there is risk involved is so the only way you can gift people crowns is by gifting them that item from the crown store. And then they will pay you gold from it. So you can kind of see why there's a lot of risk involved if it's someone you don't know or trust, or who doesn't have a reputable background with selling. Because there have been instances where someone has normally the seller gifts the item and then they get paid. There have been instances where the buyer paid and then the seller ran off with their money, or the seller gifted the item and the buyer ran off. So there is a lot of risk involved. So even though it does tend to cost more, I would say go to someone you trust or who has a reputable crown seller background.
Yeah, and again, I don't necessarily know how the transaction works. I think it's because I don't think you can gift crowns themselves to people. I think you have
You
to.
gift the item. So
Yeah,
let's say if someone wants to get crown crates, you would gift them crown crates and they would pay you however much gold you guys decided on. Now, this is allowed by ZOS, but if you get screwed over, they're not going to help you.
yeah,
So
they're not
make
responsible.
sure that this person is reputable. Like ask for proof. If you don't know them, buy from someone you trust, or find someone who is a reputable seller.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people just trying to sell in zone chat, and is like I've done that, and I thankfully haven't been burned, but I do know it's probably only a matter of time before I do. So I've kind of gotten the more reputable route. Like I've kind of screenshotted every transaction when I do sell crowns, which isn't very often. But so if you want to sell crowns, screenshot your transactions and proof that they went through. And because what's really gonna help you sell is being a reputable seller.
Yeah, yeah, and we've talked about, like, yes, the ESO community is definitely one of the best out there, but that's not to say you're not going to get people who are perfectly fine screwing other people over. It happens all over the place, so. But, that's kind of, a basis on, hey, where am I? There's other, things you're going to spend gold on, but those are the various examples. Again, when we get into currency, there's like 9 different currencies, I think, or whatever. And again, that may sound daunting, but we'll go step by step explaining why that is. So, let's move on to how you earn gold, now that we're like 20 minutes into this.
Oh, lovely.
20 minutes in, we're just now finally telling you how to do it. So,
Should have seen that coming, right?
yep. So, questing is the most basic way to get gold, is just by questing and playing the game. It's actually amazing how fast you can get gold by mindlessly completing quests. I don't know if, because I remember, even when I first started out, I feel like gold was still harder to get. Like, I would be doing stuff, and I still would only have, like, barely 10,000. Now, I mean, I don't get millions like other people do, because other people are actively, like, selling their style pages and all this. And, I mean, I have a lot of stuff I'm sitting on that I probably have, like, 2 million gold worth. I'm just kind of waiting to get into a guild trader, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I think they did up the gold rate for questing and stuff, so it's gotten better. So
Right, and as you mentioned earlier, you do now get a 10% bonus with ESO Plus
yes, you
to
do.
both experience and gold.
And occasionally they do. Actually, that it's the next thing on the notes here is they do some certain events, or maybe it's just the one where it does yield extra gold or double gold received
Hmm.
from questing and stuff. So like,
I believe they normally pair that with one of the double nodes.
yes, yes. So, like, the Explorers event that we just had back in March gave people for the weekend the ability to earn. And I really wish I had taken more advantage of that with, like, crafting writs and stuff. But you really, really want to pay attention to stuff like that, because it can give you so much gold. And
Hmm.
a little tip, kind of sort of reflecting off real world budgeting. I would, every, like, 60K or almost 100K, whatever goal you want to set for yourself, you want to bank as much gold as you possibly can. Not for any real reason, except for, like, if you go on a shopping spree or something, you're spending the gold that's on you, or you need more gold. It's just a nice surprise to have that, to check your bank and go, oh wow, I have like 200,000 gold. I didn't even know this was here.
It's also important if you also, like me, have like a lot of characters. Like I have 15 myself,
Yep.
and like the max you can have is 18, because you get 9 free ones, and then you can buy character slots. But it's kind of nice. So if you make a new character and then you can work on cosmetics right away or buy whatever it needs, or you're just trying to get gear for one character, and then you if you have gold in the bank, they can just pull it out of there for whatever they need to buy, so you don't have to swap to another character.
Yeah, that too. I was also going to say, keep track of your characters and how much gold they have on each of them. Because, like, I will log on to a character that I haven't used in like 2 years and be like, oh
See,
my
I don't
god!
have to do that because I'm on PC and we have an add-on called Inventory Insight. It keeps track of everything in our inventories, gold, currency, alliance points, Telvar, etc., etc., and it'll tell us what character it's on.
I'm
You
Lainy.
have
I
you
have
have an Xbox
add-ons.
X. Shut up.
I do. Did I mention those load times?
You know,
Seriously though, from starting
you
menu,
stop or I'm going to go off
from
about the last 2
from
events.
starting menu to character to immediately in game is like 15 seconds, if not less. It's beautiful.
I'm just going to pull a Marcus and go, wing.
But yeah, watch out for events like that. Another thing that gives you gold is keep an eye on daily rewards. Oftentimes they will put up some sort of gold reward, like big gold reward. One time we got 100k gold as a reward, and I missed it. My wife got it, but I missed too many days. But she didn't because she was adamant about getting that 100k, and I was not, and I was an
Get good.
idiot. So, like, I know this is gonna date the episode just a little bit, but like right now in April for 2022, our rewards are, well, we're already past I think the 7k one, and then coming up we've got 10k and 12.5k gold. So, and who knows what'll happen next month. But oftentimes they'll have at least one daily reward that is that kind of big boost of gold. And it's really nice to have. And it's nice because anymore, like I had 2 things left for my crafting aside from, my crafting traits aside from Nernhoned. And then I'll have like 8 traits on everything. And I finally am just like, okay, I don't care what it costs. Well, to an extent I do, because like I don't want to spend like 20k for a trait when I know damn good and well that. And that's another thing, is when you're going through guild traders, I know it's a pain unless you just really don't care, but shop around. You want to shop around all the main cities, or if you like, yeah, go on reputable websites that keep track of what's being sold in the guild traders for console and PC. You want to just shop around because you want to get the best deal possible. Otherwise, you're wasting gold.
And this is where I'll bring up Tamriel Trade Center. It's a website, and it has all the traders. You can load up the website. You select your platform. It'll ask you like if you're PlayStation, Xbox, or Mac and PC, and then if you're on EU or NA, and you can type in what you're looking for. You do have to be a bit more exact. So, say you're looking for Hue and Sunder restoration staff. You can't just type in like restoration staff because it's got to go in order. Like some sets will have restoration staff of da da da, but like for example, Hue and Sunder, you've got to type Hue and Sunder first, and you can select the quality if you want. You can select any traits. It's actually really nice. That's probably going to be your best tool for console and BC, and seeing you can sort it by price too, and how long ago it was put into the trader.
Sorry if those of you watching on YouTube are seeing the look on my face.
You look very confused.
I'm just looking at the text chat in Riften. This is why you shouldn't stay in Riften for too long. Anyone seen Off the Max? Yeah, and they're all yelling. So like, we'll cover text chat in a junk drawer episode. But all of a sudden I see roleplay in the mage's basement. I do when he's sending my stuff to kids. I don't know what's going on, man, but hey, Riften, right? God. All right. So probably this is one of, if not the best ways to earn gold. Antiquities. Just it's guaranteed gold all the time. You just have to put a little work in. So, treasures are really easy to grind for, and you can earn thousands of gold doing this. Plus, if you're trying to level up your antiquities, it's a good way. Like, I wish I had kept track of the statistics for when I leveled up my excavating and scrying, but honestly, you probably can earn upwards of... I know it's at least 50k gold doing that. Just leveling up everything to 10. You're getting at least somewhere between 50 to 100k gold doing that. Because if you... I will say this now, even though we're probably going to talk about when we talk about antiquities, is the best place to level up is Artaeum. There's no enemies to deal with, and you just go around this little island and just keep picking. And you get a lot of gold that way. You can even obviously do this when you're already maxed out. So I could go there right
Even
now
if you're
before.
just leveling antiquities, you want to be on Artaeum until you get to level 3.
Why specifically level 3?
It was either level 3 or level 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've grinded up a character, because I've only grinded one, because I'm not going through that again.
Right.
But because it's a small area and you get the leads so quickly, So you can go on to the other zones when you unlock the passives to get better ones.
Right, right. And yeah, again, we'll cover antiquities more, but yeah, they're uh I believe it's antiquarian insight, which allows you to scry for the different levels of
Mm-hmm.
treasures and stuff. But blue and green quality treasures are going to sell for, I don't know, I can't remember, like 1,000 gold apiece or something like that. So you can go after those. I could be entirely wrong, could be less, but this all of this stuff adds up really quickly. So the next thing that adds up really quickly, and especially if it's your jam, is stealing. Stealing is like a
Yeah.
whole thing in itself that we will cover at a later date. But it's tied to two different skill lines, Thieves Guild and Ledgerman, which both allow you to steal more things, or I should say, fence more things, get better quality items to steal, stuff like that. Actually, let me go into. Yeah, Ledgerman, for example, has. Reduce the cost of sneak. You're definitely going to need that. Pickpocketing NPCs. Okay, you're going to want to pair this with Dark Brotherhood. All you have to do is acquire the Blade of Woe, which is like not even completing one Dark Brotherhood quest, I don't think. So you want to like do a little bit of the Dark Brotherhood along with this because you can pickpocket an NPC to where they have nothing left on them, and then you kill them and get one more item. It's great. Increase the number of fence interactions you can use each day. So fencing, if you're unaware, is you can go down to the Outlaws Refuge, or you can get your smuggler assistant Ferrari, which we'll talk about Ferrari when we talk about Thieves Guild, I think. But she's not the greatest assistant in the world. Because the only reason she's handy is because she's right there versus having to go to the Outlaws Refuge. But the problem is she takes 35% off the total value of the item you're trying to fence. So you're losing value for convenience. Also, she can't launder items. She just fences, which is a pain. So,
It is kind of a pain. It
yeah.
takes so long to get her because I'm glad they changed it. But Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild are so grindy.
Yeah, they are. Again, I wish they would change it like they did everything else to where you could still do like the quests aren't tied to your skill line level. It used to be that way with Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, and the Molag Bal quest line. You had to be a certain level in order to unlock those, and they did away with that. I believe one Tamriel, way long ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, in fact, I think that came out in like 2016 was the one Tamriel update, I believe, because I was vet rank. I do remember being vet rank, and I remember one Tamriel happening in like fall or something of 2016. So, but yeah, and doing things like fencing is going to level up your Ledgerman, so you're passively leveling up a skill line while also earning gold. And there's various places that you can go to like pickpocket lockboxes, and what in absolute heck is happening over here in Riften?
I think we should leave Riften be.
I'm going to leave Riften be because there's a whole group of people outside of this way shrine, and I don't know what they're doing, and it makes me uncomfortable. So, actually, a good place to go. I wish I had actually comprised a list of good places to go steal from, but we'll probably retcon that detail when we do like Thieves Guild and stuff, and talking more about stealing and stuff like that. But I find going to what is it? I'm trying to load into it. It's in East March. What city is in East March?
Windhelm?
Wilhelm. God, if you go to Windhelm, there's a lot of really good houses to go in there. And again, you're going to want Dark Brotherhood because you're going to want to be able to eliminate the people inside the houses so you can go around and steal stuff. But lockboxes are a really good source of items. You can also get antiquity leads from this as well. Also, you might get lucky and get the shivering cheese, which I have
That's true.
never gotten. It's a really, I think the ratio for that, or the RNG for that, is like really low. It's kind of like there with ethereal dust and stuff, which also I've never gotten. And I have like picked up so many nodes and went through so many things, and I still haven't. Just that annoys me to no end when you have somebody that like has played the game for 5 minutes and picks up that item. I'm like, I've been playing this for 6 years, and I still haven't done that. So, but yeah, stealing is another top tier way to earn gold through fencing items and treasures and all this other stuff. And again, we'll get more into the mechanics of stealing in a later episode. But let's move on to crafting writs and work on crafting. So again, this and the crafting episode will kind of also blend together, because the way I like to do things is I like to try to get all my crafting out of the way. So getting all of your traits researched, making sure you're basically making it to the point where you can just sell off all of your items, all of them. And now that we have the sticker book system, which, again, we'll cover more of later on, selling items will put those in your sticker book, so you can go back later if there's a set you really wanted to do, and you can reconstruct that set. But you just sell off a lot of your like blue and green and white quality items. There are certain items that have a trait called ornate, and they sell for much higher gold. And this also kind of ties in with questing. If you just keep questing, you're also probably accumulating a lot of items. By the way, this also kind of hooks in with ESO Plus, because this is a reason you want ESO Plus. So your inventory is not getting overwhelmed with like crafting gear type items. So like all your provisioning items, all your woods, your metals, your stuff like that. So all of these kind of play into each other. But you want to get to a point in your crafting to where you can just go, okay, I'm going to bring up my merchant, if you have a merchant, which, God, I keep thinking of things that we're going to have to cover. Assistance. Got to remember all these
Oh
things.
gosh.
The list goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, not kidding. A couple days ago, I'm like, maybe I should like write down all the stuff we need to cover. And I'm just looking at this long list. I'm like, okay, we'll be fine for a while. So that way you could just bring up your merchant and go, okay, I can solve all these things, because now in the last couple years they made it to where items will show you if you need that item for researching a trait, or if it has the intricate trait on it, which means that if you deconstruct that, it'll give you more experience towards your crafting. So, but you'll eventually get to a point where, yeah, like I'm doing it right now. I'm going to bring up my merchant. I have 3 items that have ornate on them that sell, and usually they are over 100 gold a piece. So I have 3 items. One of them is 175 gold, 108 gold, 281 gold. So already I already got 564 gold. It's just amazing how much you can passively earn gold. And by the way, when you're selling off items, if you're curious, pay attention to the bottom left hand of your screen, because you'll get a little notification on there that shows how much gold you just earned by selling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, crafting writs. If you do your crafting writs, you also earn gold for that, as well as picking up items from the crafting writ rewards that you can sell off. I'm sorry, I feel like I've been talking for a long time.
No, you're good. Like there's obviously a lot of information to go over when we're talking about how to get gold and what to do to boost it and what to buy with it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had anything left to add to that part before we move on.
No, we can move on.
Excellent, excellent. We do have a few things left, and I think we've pretty much kind of covered you all as best we can for the time being. So, I I just put this on the notes as selling your services.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Don't worry, guys. It's nothing nefarious, I swear. So, as you advance your crafting level, you can offer services to create set pieces for other people, as well as, like, oh, you have certain traits that people need. You can sell people items that they need to get the crafting trait themselves. Fun fact, also, you can do this between your characters. So, obviously, if you have a character that knows a trait that another character does not, all you have to do is go on the one character, create the item, and then put it in your bank, and you know the rest. Your character picks it up, and you get it. So, I'll probably repeat myself on the crafting episode, but that's okay. Repetition helps people learn.
Yes, it does.
So, basically, you can. There are crafters. There are people who make their living in the world of Tamriel just crafting and selling stuff off. So, Nernhoned especially, people will charge like, what is it, 5k per? No, more than that, 5 to 10k, or I could be wrong. It just depends, because Nernhoned items are not easy to get. The only way Almost the only way you can get the Nernhone crafting material is by searching around Craglorn. There's not a whole lot of ways to get that item. So, um, let's see. You can also offer leveling up, or you can also offer leveling runs and other things like that. There's people that offer things like Skyreach runs that'll level you up. They'll be like, hey, 5k per. I don't know if it's per run or if it's per level. I think.
It's normally per run.
Okay, that's what I thought. Now, another warning to this too is obviously be careful, because you could tread into what could possibly be shady territory. Because again, people like to screw other people over, so be careful who you are accepting services from. Also, speaking of shady stuff, as an aside, never offer werewolf and vampire bites for gold. You will get laughed at. Also, never
Yeah.
ever pay for a werewolf or vampire bite. Just go to the shrines and just wait, or say in chat, hey, I need a bite, can somebody come get me? We'll, again, explain werewolf and vampire stuff probably a lot later. I kind of want to save it way down the road for Halloween, for obvious reasons. So, and again, sell everything to NPCs as much as you can. Selling soul gems is a good thing if you get a stack of soul gems, because you'll get them pretty easily, especially as you grow in level and skill, and you're starting to do dungeons and stuff. You're doing world bosses. A lot of those will drop. I think it's guaranteed drop a soul gem, a filled soul gem. So, and of course the Soul Strike skill line, I think it is. There's a passive in there. Soul Magic, I'm sorry. There's one in there that says Soul Lock. Killing an enemy has a 10% chance of automatically filling an empty soul gem. And the way to level up your Soul Magic is by doing the main quest line with Molag Bal. So once you finish the last quest for that, you can get the second level to that passive, and you'll be filling up your soul gems quickly. But a stack of soul gems nets you 6k gold. It's kind of nice. If you're really actively questing and getting soul gems, you could probably get 6k gold a week just by doing that. Crafting materials like Alkahest will fetch you a pretty penny. If you just sell it to NPCs, no need to sell it to players, although a player might probably pay for more. But if you're just looking for a quick buck, convenience, just sell it to an NPC. You'll still get a ton of gold for, because chances are, again, these are materials that you're just picking up naturally as you're playing the game. So, like, I'll even go into my craft bag here, because when you bring up your inventory, you have the craft bag right there. I only have 272 Alkahest because I probably just recently sold off all my Alkahest because I don't make poisons or potions that, like, hardly at all. If you do, then you're probably going to want to save some of these, but when you also max out your alchemy and provision and stuff, um, you're probably also getting more items every time you create something. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll rack up like thousands of Alkahest, which I think Alkahest sells for 3 gold a piece. So just 272 Alkahest right there is gonna fetch me like over 700 gold. So it gets pretty insane. Uh, Again, blue equipment and below, if you're getting to that point where you don't need to save those items for... actually, I should say you're going to want to break down a lot of equipment items to level up your crafting skill lines. So you're going to want to break down all your green, all your blue, all your purple, stuff like that to level up your crafting. But once your crafting skill lines are fully at 50 and you don't need the crafting materials, because when you break that stuff down, it gives you the crafting materials as well. Um, you could just sell all that stuff off. Again, if you have your the system pays attention for you if you have items on hand that you need to research for crafting traits. Make sure you're doing all that stuff first before you're selling off all these items. That's, again, why ESO Plus is very important for the craft bag too, is you're going to be breaking that stuff down, and instead of clogging up your inventory, it goes straight to your craft bag. 99.9% of players will tell you that's why they pay $15 a month for ESO Plus, is for the craft bag. Let's see. Selling to guild traders as well. Joining a trading guild grants you access to guild traders. That's why we talked about at the head of the show. What do you spend your gold on? Guild traders is one of those, paying your dues. There are free guild traders as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yes, there are lots of trading guilds who don't require dues.
Right, but the reason they do require dues is because it costs a lot of money to get guild traders, like millions. If you want a guild trader in Mournhold, for example, which is like one of the top 5 trading cities, then you're gonna want to spend like, that was like 5 million gold. It's insane. How does selling your item in a guild trader work? Does a cut of what you're selling go to that guild trader?
Yeah, it's a small amount, but yeah, the bigger you sell, obviously, the more it gets.
Okay, so that's
So it's going to be different from if you're selling $1 million item to a 100K item.
okay. So, yeah, I believe there's a fraction of it that goes to the guild that owns that trader, so they can continue, hopefully selling enough items so they don't have to ask people to pay dues. Normally, it's only like 2K a week, I think, for people to pay dues. It's a very small amount. See, to me, that used to be a lot. But this is, yeah, like, again, 5 years ago that this used to be a lot to me. Now it's whatever. So I'll make that in 2 seconds. So, and then another cut of that goes to the game. For some reason, the game takes a chunk of it. It's really weird. It's like, but it's not going anywhere. But whatever. I guess it's just all part of how the economy has to work within the game itself. I don't know. So, I think that's it. There is a couple more notes here. So there's a couple ways to boost your gold gain. There's 2 ways, in fact, and Lainey, correct me, there could be more. One is having ESO Plus. We've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
It nets you 10% extra gold, which is not much, but every little bit counts. There's also... Oh, actually, there's 3, because we talked about the Imperial, but don't pick an Imperial just because of that 1%.
Right, it's not worth it.
If you happen to... Well, because you figure 1% is what? 1 gold per 100 gold? So you're getting...
Yeah.
So you're getting 1 extra gold. So, yeah, it's not... to me, yeah, no, it's never worth it. It's just never worth it. If it was I wish it was like 10%, another 10%. That would be better. But I get why they probably tested it and it gets out of control way too fast. So if you happen to have an Imperial, great, you get an extra 100% gold, but don't do it just because. The other way is the haggling passive in your champion tree, which I couldn't find, to be honest with you. When I was respecking, I'm like looking around trying to find it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is no haggling. Hold on, I'm looking for it right now. Real technique, angler's instinct, liquid efficiency. Look at all the fishing stuff.
Fishing is fun.
It is fun. That's one thing I really need to do at one point is, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is no... Huh. Then where... Because I had haggling, and then when I reset everything, the haggling went away. So... That's weird. Hey, guess what? Junk drawer update. I'll let you know when I have figured this out, because I don't know where it is.
Oh my god, that's great.
Oh, unless it's... Hold on. No, that's not it. Does the... God, what is it? The thief tree not have a... extra... What do they call those? Where you click on a star and it takes you to another set of stars. I guess not.
Are you talking about champion points?
Yeah, for the champion point system.
Yeah, they don't have it in the craft tree.
Okay, then I don't know where haggling is. I have no...
I think it's by the bottom.
By the bottom? Well, there's gilded... Oh! Wait, did I say...
You said haggling.
Yeah, there's haggling. So... Okay, I don't know... Because haggling gives you an extra... Maybe it is gilded fingers. No, because that's a... I don't know. I just know when I would sell to, like, an NPC or whatever, on the bottom right-hand corner it says haggling, and it improves my... Oh, no, wait. I think it's just for my fencing. Okay, because haggling also makes Parari a little bit better as an assistant. Because then instead of 35% that she takes away, it's less. But again, I'm not seeing it. So I may just have to update you guys in a junk drawer episode. That's unfortunate. But there is a passive that you don't have to slot in your champion. It's just a normal passive called Gilded Fingers. Increase your gold gained by 2% at full 50. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 10% increase in gold. It's 2% per stage, and there's 5 stages. So you get a 10% increase in gold by having that. So it's well worth spending the 50 points into, because you combine that with ESO Plus, and you get an extra 20% or 21 if you really want that Imperial for that. So I'm not telling you that I'm, like, you know, class or race shaming you because of the gold. You want to do it, if it makes you happy, by all means. We're just letting you know it's not recommended to pick a race just because of 1% gold. It's not worth it. So, and I can't find this darn thing, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy in my old age of 32 years old. So, but Lainy, is that it? Do I think I have everything covered?
I think that's it. Like, sorry for the longer episode about gold, but there is just so much information that you gotta know.
Yeah. So that's it for this episode of Legends Rise. Thank you all so much for joining us. And remember, if you want more stuff, you can check out our Discord. Once again, the links to those are on our Facebook and Twitter at Legends Rise ESO. Come be a part of the fun and make some new friends. And if you want more out of your experience, you can go to patreon.com/LegendsRiseESO and become a Legends Plus member. Music is Sons of Skyrim Epic Metal Remix, edited by me and performed by Brandon Strader. And you can find him on YouTube and Facebook at BESTRADER. That's Best Raider. Lainy, where can the fine folks find you at?
Well, you can find me at Twitch at Adexi underscore or on ESO and PCNA at Adexi the one-eyed, and there is a dash between one and eyed.
Excellent. And you can
This
find
is,
me on what?
oh, I was just gonna say, like explain my at name has gotten so much easier now.
And you can find me on Xbox under the gamer tag Everyone's Problem. That is a capital O is a 0 and no E at the end. You can come play ESO with me on the North American server. Well, Lainey, that is our very first video episode. So,
All right.
is there anything else?
I think we're good. Like, we covered a lot of information.
Excellent. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, we will see you in Tamriel.
All right.